Testing. Alright, hello. Move on schedule, technical difficulties. So our new start time will be 7:25, exactly 10 minutes after the original start time. Technical difficulties. No intro video for this game, so no. No issues, can't do it. Trying to switch over to a new editor, software editor. Can't get it to work, and I just don't have time, so we just gotta go. So we'll have today, so we're gonna... That's not right. That is not right. Oh, there's no games. That's why. There's no games. For 4 days. So in the game, in this, there's no games for 4 days. We have to go through it a bit faster. So no games today. Games tomorrow. Okay, so that game happened. Okay. I'll log it as it counts for today. Okay? So that counts for today. And that is the only game that's happened when I did that. So, there we go. The Toronto Titans and the Boston Heroes here at Titans Center. So, here we go. Toronto Titans, Boston Heroes. In Toronto. So, we'll be taking a look at the... I can't speak. So, we'll be... You are listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network post-pregame show. This is the SIHL pregame show. You are listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Alright, hello and welcome. So, let's start with some news around the league. So, 4 points for Austin Matthews in the 10-7 game yesterday for the Atlanta Fletcher, which I can't post them right now. I gotta post them after because I'm behind. So yeah, that happened. It was Atlanta Fletcher defeat the K-Wings 10-7 last night. K-Wings 2-0. They're looking pretty. They're looking really good. You know, emotion. Well, it's a high. We're on a high right now for the Atlanta Freight Train. So Toronto Titans, in this world, they're not supposed to do this, but they're gonna do 3 games in 3 days. Because that's no, actually 4 games in 5 games in 5 days. That's not supposed to happen, but that's just wait. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. That is not supposed to happen. Yeah, that's 3 games in 3 days, even in the game. So, but for us, it's 5 games in 5 days. See. Alright, so this is just these 3 games today. So, really small load today. Just 3 games with the Toronto Titans and the Boston Heroes. Alright, here we are. We're going to be at the Titans Center in downtown Toronto with the Toronto Titans. So the Toronto Titans, they're 0-2, and they're going to be facing a Boston Heroes team that is yet to play their first game in the SIHL regular season. They're yet to play their first game. Toronto's lost both of the games of the back-to-back series against the New York Atlantics. We cut Game 2, the 4-1 loss against the Atlantics yesterday. And we'll be covering in the first of 3 games set against... Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. 5? That's what all 5 of those games are in 5 days. As for our schedule. It's not how typical hockey works, but it is what it is. So, the New York Atlantics and the Boston Heroes, start time will be 7:25 p.m. Eastern. Due to some issues. So we want no intro video today. So looking around the league as far as what's going. So not much going on, but there's a lot. There's these 4 games. So San Diego yesterday defeats the Vancouver Vikings 6-2. Winnipeg defeats the Austin Bandits 4-1. And the 10-7 Freight Train win over the Kansas City Wings yesterday. And then earlier today, this one just got finished up. Well, I shouldn't say it just got, because in the world's going on. This would be going on. These guys would have just started, but the Sim had already finished it. But they would have just gotten started. But these 2 games, we also have going on. I believe they start at like 7:35, so they're gonna start 10 minutes after we do here for the Toronto Titans. Philadelphia hosting the New Orleans Crusaders at Liberty Bell Arena in downtown Philadelphia. And so take a look at the standings currently. In the North, not the Mountain Division. Ignore that, because this is actually the North Division. Don't ignore the SIHL division names for this, because 2 of them line up, 2 of them don't. So this is the North Division, and you got 8 teams. You got the New York Atlantics. They're actually on top. So yeah, they are doing back-to-back wins to start the season. 4 points for 2 wins. So not too shabby. Then we have the Quebec City Royals. New York Eagles are after them. Rhode Island Steamboats, because they all in the Columbus Chill, all 4 of these teams, a win and a loss. Well, except for Quebec, they just got the 1 win. So these 3 teams, they play 2 games to 1-1, and then everybody below them either has not played. Philadelphia and Boston, or Toronto Titans. Right now, they're dead last in the standings because they lost their first 2 games. They lost 3 goals for, but 9 goals against. So 9 goals against to start the season. Just 3 goals for in 2 games. The Toronto Titans, they need to improve. They need to improve on that. They're not gonna, because I gotta see if they can turn this around, because it's back-to-back losses to start the year, 5-2, then 4-1 against the New York Atlantics. On the Boston side, we head to the Boston Heroes. So the Boston Heroes, this is their first game of the season, first of a 3-game set. Tonight, the game we're covering, they're in Toronto today, and they're gonna have a back-to-back back across town in Boston against the New York Eagles. So I don't think we'll be covering any of those, but we're gonna be covering them here against the Toronto Titans. Boston Toronto classic matchup in the East Coast here tonight. We're underway in 4 minutes, so we're gonna head over and take a look at your starting lineups. That is the box scores. Let's take a look at your starting lineups. Take a look at your starting lineups for the Boston Heroes. Starting off that top line, Verhaeghe, Miller, and Kucherov. Really solid starting line. So that second line got Tim Eastman, Claude Giroux, and Neil Soklander. There's a lot of depth on this team. These are some really good. And then on that third line, Voronkov, Philip Deneau, and Logan O'Connor. Bottom line, you got Marco Rossi on the fourth line. This team is, things are looking good for the Boston Heroes. Just we have not seen them yet. So, and you got Max McCormick, Marco Rossi, and Chris Wagner on that bottom line. Now take a look at moving to the defense. Jamie Oleksiak and Cale McCarr. That's an elite top D pair. Then you got Brandon Montour and Simon Edvinson on that second pair. Then you have Jared Tenorti and Josh Brown on that bottom D pairing for the Heroes. And then we're going to move over to the Toronto Titans. Take a look at the Toronto Titans offense. You got Taylor Hall, Dylan Cousins. Oh yeah, we covered them last night. That's why that. Taylor Hall, Dylan Cousins, Carter Kell, Mason Marshman, Ryan Donato, Kyle Palmieri on that top 6. And then moving on down, you got Plot, Blackwell, Holmberg, Michael Pozzetta, Jared Anderson, and Brisson. So and then take a look at your starting goaltenders. Well, hold on, we're not doing goaltenders yet. We gotta do defense. So take a look at your starting D pairings for the Titans. You got Jacob Chikrin and Nick Hague on that top D pairing. You got Ryan Graves and Alexander Alex, second D pairing, and then you got Ryan Johnson and Vinny Iorio on that bottom D pairing. And take a look at your starting goalies for the Toronto Titans. You got for the Toronto Titans. Let's see. So for the Toronto Titans, so your starting goaltender for the Toronto Titans will be, Cam Talbot going to be your starting goaltender. So let's take a look, just confirming him. So Cam Talbot, your starting goaltender for the Toronto Titans, played one game so far, 36 saves, 878 save percentage, 5 goals against in that. His only starts so far, because he played the first game, Domingue played the second. So he'll be your starting goaltender here tonight. And then taking a look at the Boston Heroes starting goaltender, we have Joel Hofer. 24 years of age, 6'5", 179 pounds. This will be his first start for the Heroes, of course, since this will be the Heroes' first game of the season. Alright, that should be it. Let's get her going. The Boston Heroes and the Toronto Titans. Slightly delayed start. See what the alts look. Oh yeah. See what the alts look like. So yep, and there is the Toronto Titans home. Go back and fix that. Go back and fix that. Okay, Toronto Titans and the Boston Heroes. Sit back and enjoy. Well, I'll say it again. Toronto Titans, Boston Heroes. Here we go. 7:26. 11 minutes behind schedule. Here we go. Hello and welcome to downtown Toronto. I'm the Toronto Titans. As we'll be broadcasting Toronto Titans and the Boston Heroes in downtown Toronto at Titan Center. We are underway. Sit back and enjoy this one here on Saturday night. Here's Taylor All able to move in top of the circle. A shot there and a save down in the far corner. Wrapped there by Cal McCarr. A little bit out of there. Hope we're able to hold on for the whistle. We'll have our first face-off. Well, besides opening face-off, of course. So Dylan Cousins and face-off able to win, but the Boston Heroes, Cal McCarr able to move out to center ice, who's back-checked heavily. He's able to hold on to the puck, and he's able to dump it in. And it's skipped up by Carter Verhage, his teammate. Back around up high, top of the circle, turned over. Ricardo Raquel for the Toronto Titans. On the near side, Ricardo Raquel scooped up by Nikita Kucherov. Carter Verhage is there. Behind the goal, Jimmy Alexiak. One of the Boston Heroes beats JT Miller. Able to move on in. Top of the left circle, bit of battle there. Delay penalty on the way. It looks like a hook or a slash. Here's Raquel able to move on in with Taylor all right between the circles for the front with a shot and a save. Joe Hofer. And we'll have a penalty on the way against the Boston Heroes. You can see, here's Jacob Chikrin. You can see JT Miller. Oh yeah, that looks to be a hook of some kind or a slash. Yeah, slashing. So I knew it. JT Miller going off for slashing Jacob Chikrin. And Toronto Titans going to the power play on home ice. Early on here in the first period. Just 2.5 minutes in. 2 minutes 26 seconds in to be exact. And Boston able to win the draw point. They're able to keep it in for the Toronto Titans. I almost said Bruins. Yeah, this is not the National Hockey League. This is the Summer Ice Hockey League. That's dumped all the way down the ice. Short-handed for the Boston Heroes. Scooped up by Mitchell Martin. A bit of a steal there. And up the ice like on the power play. Able to move on in on the blue side, on the far side of the boards. Back on in right to the middle. Right to the front with a shot. Grabbed there by Edvinson. Good pass on the backhand. down the ice. It'll trickle its way all the way behind the goal line in the Toronto zone. Cal Palmieri back along the right wing boards. Try to feed through. Short feed of Donato with a shot. That one saving and goes to the left side of the ice. Trickle the shot there and a save. And then trickle behind the goal. A lot back out in front, but he's met by a lot of bodies. Ryan Donato there on the back end. Chikrin back up high. Took away by Brandon Montour. Chikrin again. Chikrin feeds Palat. Shot save. Palmieri gets a rebound. Another save. And Montour able to get it back again. Goes all the way out to center ice. And it'll be scooped up by Jacob Chikrin. Palmieri is there. The feed Ryan down on the back end. Lost it. Canardi poked away there. Back of the near wall. Donato, he took a hit there. Brown able to feed Tenardi. Marco Rossi on that fourth line center position that he has. Wagner, which he's really good. It's not that he's bad. It's just Marco Rossi is on that stacked of a team. Nice feed, shot there in the save. One Cousins back up high. Taylor Hall, top of the left circle. And then the feed, they cycle. Mason Marchment. Cousins again with a shot and a nice save there. And here is Wagner for the Boston Heroes. Able to dump it in, goes in the zone. It'll hug its way around the boards as it goes behind the goal. Taylor Hall along the side of the boards, move cross ice to Rickard Raquel. Holmberg, a nice feed. On the left side, he slowly cut across in. With a shot, save, rebound, save, Joe Hofer for the Boston Heroes, and he holds on for the whistle. Jared Anderson going, Quadri the faceoff. Bottom line out there for the Toronto Titans, and the Heroes win it, which does seem to be predictable when you just look at the lines. Here's Tim Eastman right to the front with a shot there and a save. That'll be picked up by Homelander as he feeds it off there in a shot. It is Easton. Over to double in. We're on the boards and behind the Boston goal line. Jamie Alexiak battling there. Takes it to his teammate. And the Boston Heroes able to get out to center ice. 12:55 to go in period one. Tim Eastman with a shot there. Saved. Quick feed to Alexander Alexiev. And the front Titans go back out to center ice, but it's turned over. Once again, there's Tim Eastman. He's around one man, around two, and the puck high in the air goes back down. And it's on the stick of Ryan Graves. As he pass Freeson at center ice, right through the middle. Back to the right side. Pizzetta. Oh, back to Breeson, and a save by Joel Hofer. Good passing. Graves for the rip one blocked by Niels Hoglander. As he just got down to his knees to block it with his knees. So they're in a save. Rebound. Claude Giroux scores! First goal of the season for Claude Giroux for the Boston Heroes. First goal of the Boston Heroes season. Claude Giroux opens the scoring. It's 1-0 Heroes here in the first. The shot, the save. Claude Giroux, he takes the initial shot, save, picks up his own rebound in the back end, then he moves back to his forehand, and then shoots again around the pad of Cam Talbot. Making a 1-0 Boston game. After Carter Verhey will move on in. And he lost control, but able to regain it in the corner, back up high over to Brown. With feed JT Miller spinning on this backhand. Finds a passing lane for Hagee. Too many bodies in the way with a shot and an easy save. Penalty on the way against the Toronto Titans. Nick Hay going off for slashing. I did not actually see it. Oh, right there. Slashing the shoulder of Carter Verhage's going to the box. On the face-off, Brandon Montour able to move up right to the front with a shot. Talbot the easy save, and he holds on for the whistle. Onto the Raquel McCarr, feeds Kucherov, there's shot there, turns side. No on the backhand, looking for an option, couldn't find one. Alexei up in the corner there, able to spray it, interception, turnover, shot there and a save. Are you able to get back up high, Kale McCarr, top of the right circle. Miller between the circles, and he goes out to center ice all the way down the ice. Little skitter. Montour retrieves it. McCarr drop out pass right to the front, and Carter Verhage as they move out to center ice and over the blue line. Miller left circle with a shot right at the center of the circle, and a save there by Cam Talbot. Rossi to no, then the Titans able to get out to center ice. A bit of a scramble battle along the boards. Because that a nice feed to Graves as they got around that one Boston defender. As it skitters its way deep in the zone. It was now able to get it back out for the Boston Heroes. Tim Eastman over the red line, able to cut across in. Able to rip one in the save. Eastman battling on the near corner. Through. Now right to the front with the shot. Trickles in, they score! Phillip Deneau trickles through and gets past the pad of Cam Talbot. It is 2-0 Boston. The pass, and he's right between the circles. Take the pass from Claude Giroux. And then there's the shot. See, Talbot makes the initial save, but he doesn't make the full save. And it results in a 2-0 Boston Heroes lead over the Toronto Titans. First goal of the season for Phillip Deneau, Giroux, and Eastman the assist. Claude Giroux with his second point of the game. Simon Edvinson, Tim Eastman is there. Scooped up by Brandon Montour. Beating Mason Marchment. Kyle Palmer able to move on in. Alexia was there. The Blues back there. Brandon Montour scooped up. There's Claude Giroux. Verhage out to center ice. Able to move over the red line. Good pass, Giroux. Marchman cuts it off Giroux and then steals it. And then going the other way. Here come the Toronto Titans. Donato looking for options. Couldn't find any. JT Miller leads the way for the Heroes. Verhage. No shooting lane available. It was shut down by some good Toronto defense, and Talbot holds on for the whistle. Face off to the left of Cam Talbot. Goes there, he lost the puck, scooped it by Kucherov, top of the right circle. Slap shot. McCarr tip score! JT Miller on the tip. Actually, that was a 2-tip goal. The initial slap shot went off one stick and then went off JT Miller's stick. You can see the slap shot, so it's 3-0 Heroes. Shot went off his stick and then went off Miller's stick. I didn't see the... So JT Miller credit with a goal. McCarr. Yeah, no, it was Kucherov to pass McCarr. No. I thought it went off. I think it went off a Titan stick instead. There's someone Cousins over the line. I'm going to move right to the front with a shot glove save. Joe Hofer. You know, if you're wondering, I'm eating a burger right now. Out of the rock, Cal McCarr. I'm going to move to the near side, right to the... here's Dmitry Voronkov trying to win the battle there against the defenseman. He does, and gets the shot off to save Cam Talbot. Dylan Cousins and Phillip Deneau checking the face-off. Top line out there for the Toronto Titans. They trail 3-0. 5:33 to go in the first. 14 shots on goal for the Heroes. Just 12 on goal for the Toronto Titans. McCarr out to the major Voronkov, able to move on the right line, trying to move right to the front. And thought they were an easy save by Cam Talbot. Good cycle pass there. Cycling pass. Almost looked like a wheel when they passed it there in the Toronto zone. The Heroes get it out of their zone, going back into the Toronto end. Not on the left side, but and he lost possession of Carter Cal. A bit of a deke. Trying to get right past the defenseman. Able to do after a correction shot there, blocked right in front. Cal. Oh, Alexia, he made like a really. He was able to block a shot just moments ago. Just to make sure a round curve over the red line. I'm going to move right to the middle. Shot there. Blocked away by Ryan Graves. Alexander Alexiev with possession of the front Titans up icy moves. And knocked off the stick. Carter Verhage in possession now. For Boston, it goes down the ice behind the goal. Carter Verhage actually does have history with the Boston Bruins. Remember that Florida Panthers goal from a few years ago. And when the Florida Panthers eliminated the Boston Bruins in that heartbreaking game. What a great game if you're not a Boston. I'm not a fan of either of those teams. Out there in a save, Joel Hofer. Lucky no rebound was given because that was a wide open chance for a rebound, but nobody was there. No able to move in, top of the circle, good pass, Carter Verhage to the right in front of the net, but of a scramble there. Ends up with possession of Ryan Graves for the Titans, feeding Cal Palmieri. Palmieri takes it back out there by Simon Edfordson, and Verhage has possession once again. Right to the net, shot there, save, trying to get his own rebound. On the back end, Verhage, another chance, but Vicky has a shot, but it was saved by Cam Talbot. Ryan Graves able to find Donato. Donato get around to one defender, but he'll leave it around, but he lost it. Come on, so we're in the final seconds of period one. We'll be ticking away. And one more chance for Nikita Kucherov, but it's knocked off his stick before he can get a shot away, and that's going to end the first period. The Heroes on top of the Toronto Titans, 3-0 after one. We're going to period two, but first we got to do the first intermission. So period two on the way. You are listening to the SIHL TV on the radio network. So, hello, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the SIHL intermission for the Boston Heroes and the Toronto Titans. So the Toronto Titans, they're again. It's the same as last night against New York. Same issues, exact same issues. They're shooting, they're getting shots, but they're not getting shots of substance. It's the same old story that played them against in the two games against the New York Atlantics, and now here against the Boston Heroes. Their offense is nowhere to be found. The same issues. They just take weak shots of the net. They don't try to create, scoring chances that have a chance of going in. I explained this last night. Toronto, they're shooting. They're seeing, you get the number. But if you just shoot right at the goaltender's, right at his chest, those shots mean absolutely nothing. That's exactly what's happening here. Their defense is okay. It's not. They can make plays, they can take the puck away, but they can't hold it either. That's another issue. They can't hold on to the puck. Boston, they had possession issues at points, but they were able to recover, and they were able to go back down the ice and create some more scoring chances. Toronto, whenever they get the puck, they would just flounder it immediately, over and over and over again. And sometimes they get shot. They get shots, but they don't really seem to get the best shot. They just get the most. They just get shots. They don't even get the most. They not even have. They don't have like 30 shots. They don't even have that. They just have some shots, but none of them are like, good scoring chances. Toronto, I think they need to rethink their entire game. I do. Yeah, I might not come back to this team for a while. I mean, I'll cover this game, but I want to move on to teams that are actually good. Alaska is a really good team. We'll cover them tomorrow. So moving on to Barry, so actually we got a double header. Scheduled tomorrow, we got Calgary Cougars being hosted by the Denver Dragons at 4:30, then at 7:30. And so, these are playing a 3:30 game local time. It'll be nighttime for us. Well, because it's Eastern time. And so you were listening to the SIHL TV on Radio Network. The second period action is next. Here we go. Second period. And here's Kucherov able to move over the line. Cousins able to steal it away. Here come the Toronto Titans. Back the other way. And they got a bit of a steal it all. Move to the front. Shoots there and a save. And the Titans able to fly. The Titans flounder the possession of the puck immediately. Here comes the Boston Heroes in front. The shot, he scores! Nikita Kucherov! First goal of the season for Nikita Kucherov. Right through the slot. And it's 4-0 Boston. This is like a prime example of how not to play defense. See, Nick Hagan's there. There's Chikrin. I mean, there's a reaction time. They don't. I mean, I guess they try to close that gap, but they act like there's no reason to hurry. Of course, there's a reason to hurry. You gotta close that gap. You know, and the results. Kucherov right through the slot. Bingo. Guard top of the right circle. Nick Hagan's there. Raquel able to move over the line. Taylor All was there as well. On the other side, Raquel, good pass. And there's Cal McCarr able to get over to Nikita Kucherov. And right through center Kucherov for the Boston Heroes, trying to get around this Toronto defense. Right. Oh, there was an opening right there. He's right on through it. And Talbot saved them, but what was that? They almost got out of the way. Right to the front of the shot save there, Cam Talbot. Ron Titans so far. Boy, are they tough to watch. And there is Simon Evans right to the front. Alexander Alexiev, here's Kyle Palmieri able to get it far side, finding Ryan Graves. Watch from the drop-off shot there and save, Joe Hofer. They're operating him onto her. Penalty on the way. Interference right and auto. And the discipline. Lack of it. It was almost. And then he's complaining. He's almost like, did he cussing out the ref? He was the one that shoved the other center, his opponent, to the ground. Last he shot there and the goal save Cam Talbot. Like he. Used to miss him in on the first. I don't know actual they're like trying. I don't know if he's like that, but yes, IHL. I mean, it's not like you just like a stick or something. You like full on shoved him to the ground. Oh, Joe Hofer freezes the puck. His coach was yelling at him to freeze the puck. I don't hear that too often. One 12 of the Boston power play. Here they come. Carter Verhaeghe open line. McGuire, JT Miller at the top of the zone. And a shot there in the save, and it goes out to center ice. Reset, and JT Miller gets it right back again for the Boston Heroes. I would be surprised if the Boston Heroes don't score on this power play. Problem is they're struggling to get. Testing. All right. I am eating something, so as soon as I'm done eating it, I'll start the game. Alright, so, and we're right back to it. So, you create a monster, but here's the keg, here's Jacob Chikrin. And he goes all the way down the ice, scooped up by Brandon Montour, behind his own goal, able to go to the left side. It's Carter Verhaeghe. He finds JT Miller after being knocked off the puck. Nikita Kucherov. JT Miller, they're both trying to find a shooting lane, unable to find one. Back of the air boards. Right to the front, McCart with a shot and a save. Carter Verhaeghe's there. Here's JT Miller, top circle, shot, locked in front, that slowed down the puck. And in the corners, Nick Hagee's backtracked heavily, able to find Andre Palat. Palat runs right into a defender, but passes it over to Ryan Donato in the zone. Donato turns it over to Kyle McCarr, and it goes cross ice to Jamie Alexiak. And a feeder to Dmitry Voronkov. The possession Voronkov. The pass, Kyle McCarr. The passing, Miller with a shot and a save. Scooped up by Voronkov, the drop-off pass, and I think a mistake. He was just trying to get a teammate, and then he shoved it wrong, and it went all the way down the ice. And there, side JT Miller tried to take around, but he lost the puck. On race, feeding Taylor Hall over to Carter Kill. 12:38 to go in period 2. Boston controlling this game right now. Full stop. Alexander Alexiev in the corner, bit of a round for the puck. To the hands of the Toronto Titans. Oh, a big hit! Dmitry Voronkov. Somebody checking. Kyle McCarr on his forehand. But not a lot of space. Creates some space. Alexiev the slap shot, but too many bodies in the way. Back down low, Philip on the backhand. Cars are out some room. The shot an easy save. Cam Talbot. Again, Cam Talbot's playing well. It's everybody in front of him. I wouldn't say that they would lose to an East Coast Hockey League team, but shot there and a score. Brandon Montour. A seeing eye shot for Montour for his first goal of the year. And the Boston Heroes make it 5-0. Alright. So... Alright, hold on. Okay, yep, we're gonna go right. So here's now so down low, let's go right back to it. Here's Simon Evans, able to get bounce it off the board, able to get over to Brandon Mott, 2 through center, but that one goes all the way down the ice. We scooped it by Vinny Iorio, able to find long pass to Pontus Holmberg. Back up long glove side boards with a weak shot to Joel Hofer in the save, and he'll hold on for the whistle. As I stated before, if you switch the goaltenders, Joel Hofer's gonna suck, and Cam Dalbert would do fine, or Louis Domingue would do fine. The issue here is that Toronto, their offense and their defense, are playing so poorly. I mean, it's a disaster. They're flying right to the front with a shot, nice save. Nobody scooped up. Yeah, this team might not be covered for a while. Kucherov the save, back up. Got that monk. Got JT Miller, here's Nikita Kucherov. Shut her up, the iron! Look at my voice crack there. Nice save there. Not able to rip one there, save there by the glove of Joel Hofer. .5:28 to go in the second period. On the phase on one, Jamie Alexiak from Kale McCarr. Pontus Holmberg knocked away for the puck there, scooped it back up by Kale McCarr, and drops it off to O'Connor. And here's quick off the quick feed. You lost it, Vinny Iorio for the Toronto Titans. Here's Pontus Holmberg. Andrew Plot, top of the left circle, but Logan O'Connor able to take possession. Here's Dmitry Voronkov. The drop-off pass. McCarr, weak shot to the net. Pontus Holmberg. Andre Plot over the red line. Dylan Cousins. See, you know what? Dylan Cousins, he's not, like, he doesn't seem to be trying. At least they're, I don't know if they're not trying to get good scoring chances or they're just genuinely that bad. Here's Dylan Cousins, because here's Jacob Chikrin. Nice feed to Raquel. Raquel on his back end, the forehand, and he shoots right at Cale McCarr. Spin, that one's going to be dumped in the zone. The Toronto Titans haven't got shut out yet, although they were close. Yesterday, in the 4-2 loss to the New York Atlantics, they were close. They scored like with 20 seconds left to make it 4-1. Jimmy Spin on the top of the right circle. Nice feed right with a shot. 6-0 ball dominance for the Boston Heroes. Unprecedented. Again, what's happening is the defensemen aren't paying any attention to where they are. They're blocking their own goaltenders' line of sight. Down up high. Going on the backhand. Left it off the iron, trickles in. Claude Giroux's got a hat trick as he tipped it in. Unbelievable. I don't even know what just happened. Yeah, you tipped it right at the front, and it just kind of happened. The slap shot is... Oh, wow. This is... another... This is, like... I mean... It's 7-0. We still got a whole period to play. Max McCormick with some speed, but he crashes into Louis Domingue and makes the save. Oh, feel bad for Louis Domingue. This is a goalie that's not as good, so putting Louis Domingue makes them look even worse. Then we've Cam Talbot in the back of the net. Final seconds took it away, Alexiev. With the line, here's Mason Marchman. So, 40 minutes in the book, it is 7-0 Boston. I don't think we've seen anything like it. Wow. I don't even know where to start. Wow. 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 I feel so terrible for Cam Talbot. I do. I know it's a fictional link, of course. I know, but just imagine that's you. Imagine that's you. You're doing everything you can as a goaltender, and then your teammates are blocking your own sight. You're blocking your line of sight, even though they know that you're behind them. And there's like goals that should be easy saves 95% of the time. And they go in because Cam Talbot or Louis Domingue can't see the puck. Wow. Wow. Might be a while before this team wins a game. Might be a while. I don't really have anything else for the intermission show besides I got some food to eat, so yeah. I'm gonna be eating some food. Some corn. Oh good. I got some pickles, so you're gonna hear some crunches, but wow. And I these so you don't gotta hear me trying to eat pickles during play. Good animation. There's some good pickles. Man, this game is something else. Alright. So, pair 3, here we go. Roger with a hat trick. So, you're listening to the SIHL TV on the radio network, and we are back for period number 3. Alright, do one by Kevin Carr back on the near side. We're going to go right through to Carter Verhaeghe over to Nikita Kucherov. And then away on the way out to center ice, it'll be scooped up there. JT Miller. Miller able to feed Cam McCarr on the back end, able to find Nikita Kucherov once again. Bit of a battle there. Here's Nolan Cousins over the line, able to find Taylor Hall. Scooped up by Cam McCarr. Carter Verhaeghe. Feeding McCarr once more. The feed over to JT Miller. Start with a shot. So off the right, Dylan Cousins and Claude Giroux. Off the right, but we won by Jacob Chicken back at the air boards. Domingue over to Carter Kell. On his backhand, trying to move to the middle. Unable to do so. Drew, a nice pass attempt, but it didn't work out too well. The big red, Alexiev right on through. Here's Giroux. Jacob Chicken able to have control. Again, back over to Mason March right through. Outside streaming Alexiev able to find it. Tim Eastman. Eastman with a pretty open lane. Took a hit, but got the pass over to Drew right in front. In the slot with a shot, but Drew missed the net. That would have been his fourth of the game. Simon Edmondson slap shot, and that went off. A teammate skating wide. Hoaglander is there. Kyle Palmieri, a bit of a battle. Still fighting for it. Kyle Palmieri, able to get out to Ryan Donato. Over the blue line, Donato on the back end. Jacob Chikrin lost the puck. Shot there to save. Joe Hofer able to hold on for the whistle. With 15-14 to go in regulation. Boston leading 7-0. Toronto's only won 5 face-offs. 5. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is... Where do I even start with this? There's no able to move on in. I don't... Ronkov is there, down well behind the goal. In the trapezoid, delay penalty on the way against the Toronto Titans, because of course, Alexander Alexiev going off for slashing. Where do I even start with this? Where do I start with this team? I'm at a loss for words. My job is to use a word and use one of them in a very descriptive way, just like how you've been handling the last however long this broadcast is. Jared Anderson Nolan facing JT Nolan. The Boston Rangers wants to get on the power play. They don't really need it, but sure, take it, I guess. And add another one to the pile. It's another power play goal. Should be a cakewalk. Try to keep it in, but the goal counts offside. So we'll face off just outside the blue line. So, see it real quick how Boston's doing the power play, depending on how the game counts. So here's Carter Hagee able to move over his own blue line, able to feed Nikita Kucherov. On the top of the right circle, down along the quarterback, out to JT Miller, right in the slot, right at the front with a shot, and he scores! JT Miller with his second goal of the game. They report on. The Blues are raining in. The Blues are raining in. And then it goes back to the forehand. And that's one you can't blame on Louis Domingue. He gave no attempt to squeeze his legs shut, as he should, to keep that puck from going. It went right between his legs. Kucherov and Hagee the assists. I told you it would be a cakewalk, and they proved to be right. The Boston makes it different because they said nothing. They still got 13 minutes. They can get to double digits. For sure. This is unbelievable. This is 2023 San Jose Sharks level bad. They're not able to find Mason Marchment. It's almost like a meme game. Remember the Sharks games? It was the one against the Canucks, and then the one against the Penguins back in 2023. This is almost on that level. This is almost on that level. And Palmer at the front. Hope for the saving holds on for the left. If the game's attendance were coded properly, this place would be empty. It would be if this game like coded had proper attendance, there would be empty seats after empty seats. There might be like less than 1,000 people in the stadium by this point. Here's Dimitri Ronkov able to move on in right to the front. There is Ryan Donato. The far side board is a bit of a battle there. Mason Marchment, and the feed is over there to Kyle Palmer for the Toronto Titans. Pick it over to Ryan Donato. And right on in. Here's Kyle McCarr. Donato slow to get up. McCarr moving in. Top of the right circle. Donato seems to be fine though. Shot there to save Louis Domingue. 45 shots for the Boston Heroes. Just 44 for the Toronto Titans. Which is not terrible, but is that a great total either? No. You should have between like at least 30 shots a game. On average, it's kind of low. Not horrible, not like 15, 12, 8, 10. Not that low, but, it's 24. Under 30. And you're in the third period. So here's your whole they're able to go the other way. I know they have 10 more minutes, but the way they've been playing. Out there to save with these, Joel Hofer. He hasn't had to do much tonight. He's just, I mean, he's got to maybe make one or two hard saves. Like, you know, saves that he actually had to work for. I mean, but he's been coasting as he's been able to move on through center right over the blue line. He's lost, scooped up by Taylor. All back upstairs door. He's able to move right on in. Top of the left circle, lost control. Able to get it back, comes with a shot and a save. Scooped up by Hofer as he grabs it and holds on to the foot for another whistle. There's still 8.5 minutes. Boston could do it. Kucherov able to move over the line. That one's scooped up by Ricardo Cal. Over the open passing lane, able to find go cross ice with Dylan. This is intercepted by Cal McCarr. Cousins tried to go cross ice. Didn't work out too well for him. Cal intercepted the pass. And he'll go the other way. Stops. Oh, gets around one man. Cousins, nice move. Save, Joe Hofer. Decent save from Hofer there. Something remaining. Now Toronto start. I guess this seems to be a set similar to the. They are figuring it out a little earlier, but it seems similar to last night's game against the New York Atlantics, where they were down 4-0, find them in, and then they finally getting valiant offensive attempts, which led to their goal with 20 seconds left to avoid a shutout. At the front, easy save, Joe Hofer, who'll hold on for the whistle. And this time they got 6 minutes 42 seconds remaining. So they have a little more time. It's been... Because Boston's been pretty much ruthless. I think now they're like, yeah, we can take our foot off the gas pedal a little bit. Yeah, I think we're good. In baseball, this is kind of a normal. This ain't that crazy of a score, but in hockey, 8-0. Yikes. We're gonna have a face-off, and we're gonna go to break. You are listening to the SIHL and TV Radio Network. Alright, we are back. So we're back to the action. You know, the Boston Heroes leading 8-0. 6 of us ready. Here's Simon Edmondson with a shot, and he scores! First goal of the season for Simon Edmondson. That was the... I don't even know what to say. Look at that. That thing was going maybe 50 to 40 miles an hour. That was like the slowest shot. That thing I could see I saw it in... You could see it in slow motion. It's almost as if it was. When it was so slow. It was, I mean, wow. 9-0. Oh yeah, now you can hear it. I see some empty seats. Not as empty. in real life, that you wouldn't see you would see more empty seats than you would see people if the attendance was proper. You're starting to see some empty seats, but it's only so many. There's Evans is able to move right on in. How do I even continue? Blackwell able to move in, top of the circle. And he was latched up from point there, and an easy save. Joel Hofer able to hold over the whistle. Yeah, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. This is a good one. This is fascinating. This is I'm like fascinated. How can a team be this bad? Oh. Hit it. Try more hits than Boston. There's that. That's about it. That's about... I'm running out of stuff to talk about. It's just the totality of it. It's just Southern St. Louis. I mean, it's just. Oh wow, wow. I'm just marveling at it. Like, you don't see this kind of suckage, for lack of a better term. You don't see this every day. 4:36 remaining. Gonna get to 10. So there, he lost his helmet and his stick. He's gonna have to retrieve those. Now you can see Simon Edvidson along the wall. Yeah, he's knocked off his helmet and his stick. Yeah, even with the EA stuff, there's empty seats. The EA is like programmed to have like a full crowd no matter what. Right to the front with a shot and a save, so 4:02 remaining. You still all able to move over the line. O'Connor, Filipino. Over to Dmitry Voronkov, top of the left circle. 3:30. And Dmitry Voronkov, top of the right circle, moving right in the slot with a shot block, rebound, save, Louis Domingue. So he holds on the whistle. 3:10 remaining. Boston 1 goal away from double digits. This team, they've been Toronto. And to start off, it's not like this happened in the middle of the season. This is the start of their season. You can start off on a worse note, and then not only losing the first 3 games in a row, but giving up 18 goals in 3 games. 18. 6 goals a game. That's where they're at. That's where they're at right now. 6 goals a game, and there's fiddling around. And I usually would do more like radio commentary, but I don't even know what radio commentary there is to do. We're in the final minute and a half of this. There's Cab Car there. Looks like over the right line on the right side, able to move on in, dumps it in the zone, and just run the clock out and try and avoid a shutout. Well, they're going to move in now into the final minute. Slap shot and a save, Joel Hofer. And Hofer able to keep the shutout intact with a nice spread eagle move. And he deployed it at the correct time. Which went in opening there with the Connor Ingram. He had a great night, but then he gave up 1 goal. And the 1 goal he gave up was due to him deploying the spread eagle at a terrible time. Joe Hofer executed it perfectly. So here comes Brown for the Boston Heroes. Claude Roux, who's already had a hat trick. Able to put Glenner over the line. With a shot save right to the front. With a loose puck. Final 40 seconds in play. They might not get that 10th goal, but even as is, this game has just been up on right to the front with a shot save there. Skipped up. Eastman. Claude Roux. McKay battling up high. Markman top of the left circle. Ryan was there. Skipped up by Claude Giroux. Here's Tim Eastman over the red line. Able to move right on it. Tim Eastman. Down low in the corner. Right to the first shot there. And the save of the glove. Louis Domingue. 54 shots on goal for the Boston Heroes. Now, this would be a game that I have no reason to expect any viewership from this at all. Tom Blackwell. Still tuning in. Thank you so much. We're getting the final 10 seconds And the Boston Heroes will shut out the Toronto Titans 9-0. I will repeat that, 9-0. The Toronto Titans shut out, and they start the season on a 3-game losing streak. And this is the worst loss yet. Boston Heroes shut out the Toronto Titans. Not 3-0, not 4-0, not 5-0, 9-0. Your final score, Boston Heroes shut out the Toronto Titans 9-0. And that's your final score. And you are listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Stick around for the post-game show. Post-game show next. So, wow. This is the SIHL post-game show. You are listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Alright, hello and welcome to the SIHL post-game show. Unbelievable. Where do I even start? I don't know where to start with this. Because there's just, wow. Unbelievable. I've never seen... They are genuinely on the level of the 2023. In the first month of October, and you can look it up, the San Jose Sharks, the National Hockey League. You can look them up. They had 2 back-to-back games. They gave up 10 goals in each game. They scored 3 goals in both of them. First 10-1 loss against the Vancouver Canucks. And then a 10-1 loss against the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's where this team is right now. Toronto Titans, that's exactly where they are. You see, it was a horrendous game on their end. Boston, it was great. It was great for Boston. Toronto, Simon Edvinsson. If we go back to the goal. If we go back. Yeah, we're just going to use their replay because it's faster. If we go back. The goals. Simon Edvinsson. Instant replay. Here we are in instant replay. There you go. I'll have like an... Hold on. What's the best view that I want for this? There you go. Face off. Look at this. Now I'm going to move it towards the net. So you get kind of a view from... Not exactly what the goaltender sees, but... Here. Look. Look how slow that is. Look how slow that shot is. That's clearly enough for you to at least, if you're a goaltender, get your blocker and get it to bounce into the corner. That's all, because all you need to do as a goaltender is just go, dude, with your arm. Just move your arm to the left. That's all you need to do here. But no. Watch what Louis Domingue does. Watch Louis Domingue. Look. Because his focus was completely on the referee. And he didn't follow the puck at all. Look at this. You see where he's still? Simon Edvinsson. He's looking right past him. He's looking right past Simon Edvinsson. So look out the play. If I can get this set up right. Watch Simon Edvinsson. Draw. He just comes in. It's the most. It's not like. It wasn't like literally slow. It wasn't like this slow like this. But he was staring. He was staring at the referee and Pontus Holmberg. That's a lot what it looks. And look, and he's like almost blindsided that a puck goes past him. I know he's the backup, but how did this guy ever play on an NHL team? Genuinely. Is this just the game? is he like this in real life? If not, I mean, in this universe, even just in this universe by itself, that is. And then that's really the only. I usually don't like look at clips because they take away time, but I probably should start looking at more clips just to show plays and stuff. I think I might start doing that more often. My mind cannot comprehend this. You can just see Boston just offensive domination. I mean, it was like a mini version of you know, games in the International Ice Hockey Federation against Japan. This is like the mini version of that. But moving on from Toronto, on to the Boston side. This is a really great win for them. I mean, they were almost close to the 10-0 shutout win. They were close. They were 1 goal shy. It was a fun watch. Hat trick for Quadra. That's gonna look really good for him.